So, a little update, not on specifically my pregnancy, but just kind of a life update. So now I am back to only working one job. It turns out that the super highly active, heavy lifting, spotting children, doing everything crazy, active, wonderful, but crazy, at my second job, the kids fitness place. It was too much for my pregnancy. I was given some concerns by my doctor to not really do all those crazy things. So I did end up having to let my boss of that job know that I couldn't continue with that job. Hopefully I'll be able to go back someday if it's needed. If I need to bring in more income, that's sort of at my top of the list of where I would prefer to do it at. I really enjoyed my job there, and I love all the relationships with all the different kids that I had formed in the 6 months that I've worked there. And it was almost exactly 6 months. I forget the actual date that I started, but it was, the end of December, and here I am now. This is the end of June, so almost exactly 6 months. But I am very pleased that I was able to stay in it this far. I hope to come back and do better in the future if need be, and if possible. The need be part being like if the extra income is needed, because the goal for our family ultimately was, Matthew and I had decided in the beginning that our goal was that if possible I would stay home and raise our family as much as possible, and only work if the income was needed, which obviously in this day and age, like, that's a very necessary thing. Sorry, our bed's kind of a mess. I'm just kind of trying to relax. I have Emily napping over here. But anyway, so if I'm able to stay home with my kids, that's our first goal. But and I still do have the job at the trampoline park that I have been working at for almost 2 years now. So I'm not leaving that one. That one is super, super flexible, whereas the kids fitness place was not flexible. So the trampoline park is extremely flexible, and I'm able to kind of make that work, and it's not strenuous in any way. It's not stressful. It's not, it's not any kind of anything affecting my body. I basically stand for my whole shift, and there's short shifts and long shifts, and in the middle and things like that. There's cleaning shifts, there's behind the desk shifts, there's walking the trampolines, making sure everyone's safe and minding the rules and things, kind of upkeeping the facility. So there's all of that, but it's not heavy lifting. It's not spotting children, coming in contact with kids who could potentially flip into or kick into my stomach where my child is. It's not any kind of danger in that sense, and so that's why I'm able to stay at this one and not the other one, because they are so opposite in that sense. The other job, I do all of those things, and more. So, or did. I do miss it. It felt weird bringing my daughter to class today. She is enrolled in some gym classes there, or a gym class, but like she goes once a week, and then there's some practice and play times where it's like a free play. They work on the different skills that they learn each week, and they get some social time with basically all ages of kids that we have enrolled there. So she gets to go a few times a week. So I went there this morning, and it was so weird to not like stay and work. Like I was just a customer. It was weird. It felt weird, but I love having her in class. She did amazing today, way better than she's done since she started there. She's been there about a month now, since I've enrolled her. I did wait a while, just so I could do my training and things like that, and then, I got her started once I found a spot for her, and whichever day I was able to work out in my schedule. I found a day that kind of works that had some spots open for her. So there's that, and sorry, not a super flattering angle, but we're cool. What was I going to say? I completely forgot what I was about to say. Something. We went to her class this morning, and when I first enrolled her, I had her in the combination class between her class that's her age group, which is about 2.5 to a little bit past 3, and then it's that class age group is combined with the class right below hers, so the age group right below hers, which is basically about 2 to 2.5 years old. So it's kind of all those kids combined. So it's run as basically the lower age group class for the most part. They do step up the skills and things, and they do make it where the older kids are still getting something out of it as well. But the only day of the week that I could get her into classes while I was not working was that combination class. So I had her in that class, and then since I'm not working there any longer, I was able to move her over to this morning. So I have her in Wednesday mornings now in just the specific class for her age group. So that was fun. This one works on a lot of, it's more structured to her age group. It's, more preschool prep. Excuse me. She has to sit and wait her turn for things, and the younger ones have more of an option during class. Like, we set up the different skill things that we're going to be learning for that week. We set them up and have them, try it if you would like to, kind of thing. So the kids can come up at their own will and try the new skill, or they can just completely surpass it and just play. Whereas this older age group, they actually split them up into groups, and they take turns, and they sit on a mat, and they wait their turn, and they get called up, and they say, here, try this, and then they make it trickier for them, and they try specific skills with them. And then once they've done a couple of rounds of that, and they kind of get the hang of it, they send that group over to the other one. We have 2 at a time. So they switch, basically the groups of kids switch over to the opposite station from the one that they had been doing, and so then they learn a new skill on that one as well. It's a different skill. So they switch over and they wait their turn. They sit on a mat and they wait, and then they get to try it, and it's fantastic for them, learning that structure of sitting and waiting your turn and not just running all crazy all the time and whatnot. It's very good for her. Normally, Em will kind of want to run wild and just do her own thing. It's a room full of things to play with. Of course, it's going to be exciting for her to go run and do something else. But today she did amazing. They sit around this big area in the middle of the gym, and they do like a warm up, and they learn some music and some dancing and movement, and they learn a new skill every week. Aside from those ones that they separate them for, they learn just a small skill to kind of help them with everything. And they have to stay. It's we have circle time, and they have that specific time, and they stay put and whatever. Normally, Em is one to want to just kind of go run wild and not participate in her warm up or anything else. But today she actually sat beside me, not in my lap. She sat beside me did the whole warm-up by herself. I didn't even have to sit there really doing it with her. She sat and she watched the teacher and she did what she was told, and it was beautiful watching her with a smile on her face. And then she did all the different activities that they do at this structured time of sitting. It's around this big circle that they have in the middle of the gym. So that's why I called it circle time a second ago. I'm used to working there, so I'm used to just our terminology, but I'm trying not to kind of lay all that on you. But yeah, so she participated in all of that, and she didn't try to make a run for it once. I was so proud of her. She did amazing, because she never does that. She always wants to get up and just do whatever, and she also doesn't participate in the warm-up. She won't do it at all. She'll just sit there and watch all the rest of the kids do it. But today she did it. She did all of it. She did it herself. It was just wonderful watching her learn and play and do all of those things. And then she sat and waited her turn when they did come time to separate them for those learning skills that they did. They learn, different like gymnastics type skills, tumbling, different things every week. They change it and they kind of build on things to help the kids out. So they did some balancing and some tumbling today. And she sat on the mat the entire time. She didn't try running. I didn't have to hold her there or reprimand her at all. There was one point when she laid down on the mat like another child next to her had done, and so I told her to sit up, but that was all, and I didn't have to get stern with her. I just said, Emmy, sit up so you'll have your turn, and she did it right away. She was a star student today. It was beautiful. And she sat, she waited her turn. She only went up when it was her turn, when her name was called, and she actually tried the skills and participated and gave a sincere effort, and it was wonderful, and I loved it. At the end, she got all pouty and threw a little mini tantrum, which I didn't let her throw. So, but that was at the very end of class, and that's fine. She's having a rough day. She's cranky ever since then too. So I don't know what's going on there, but she's cranky. She hadn't really eaten anything either, but like all day long I woke her up to go into class. She was fighting waking up. But anyway, I'm proud of how amazing she did. Now she's napping. She fell asleep on the way home, thank goodness. I had to run one errand before coming home, and then we came home. She's been napping ever since. I'm kind of laying here trying to plan out the rest of my day. Since I have such a flexible job at the trampoline park, it's not just a 9 to 5 every day. So I sort of base my schedule, and today I'm off. So I sort of base everything I do around the different hours that I worked every single day. And the same was with the gym. It wasn't flexible, but it was something where like the hours differed every day. So it wasn't just like, okay, every day at 8 a.m. I'm going to do this, and then every day at whatever 4 p.m. I'm going to do this, and 1 p.m. I'm going to do this, and 8 p.m. I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. It's not that at all. So it's more of like, okay, so I had this to do today. I had Emily's class this morning. I did that. I ran my errand. I came home. I'm waiting for a package to arrive for my neighbor so I can put it behind her fence for her. And then I'm going to go run the rest of my errands, get the house cleaned up, get dinner ready. This little paper that I have back here is I'm writing. You see how many things are on that list? That's my to-do list just for today. And currently it is 3:14 p.m. So I have a lot to do. A lot of these things won't take eons and eons. That's the longest things on there will take an hour or so. But got a lot to do. A lot to catch up on now that I'm not working at my other job. I have a little bit more time on my hands. This just happened within the last 2 days, so it's not like I know how much time I'm going to have on my hands upcoming, because I don't know what my schedule is going to be like now that I'm only working at the trampoline park. I'll be able to work more hours there and more shifts, but so that means I don't know what my schedule is going to be like week by week. But at least this week I have more time on my hands to sort of get our house back in order. It's been so wrecked because I never have time for anything. It's gotten so wrecked and so terrible. I just feel like burning it down most days because I never have time to clean anything or organize anything. Everything's just kind of where it lands, and everything is a mess, and everything is just terrible. And it's uncomfortable, and it's stressful for all of us. So now I'm working on kind of fixing the mess of the last 6 months of not having any time to breathe. Sort of cleaning up after everything that hasn't been able to be done, and get myself back into a routine of doing the things that I never had time to do in this past 6 months, as well as sort of making a new schedule for myself to get a better routine than I had before. Before was just okay. I am making myself a better schedule now to kind of get in the hang of doing certain things day to day, and making our house better and making our lives better. And I'm in the mood of get her done kind of thing. I want to get this done and get that done and blah, 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 blah. But anywho, that's where we're at right now, and I'm very excited for what is to come. I've got lots of videos planned for you guys. Keep an eye out. I'm going to be posting lots more now. Now that I have a little bit of time to breathe, I have more time to record and edit as well. So everything is coming along. Sorry, the camera's bouncing. I'm sitting here sort of pressing on my tummy. Look at the baby. Oops. The baby belly this week is 22 weeks along, and she's been kicking a lot more recently, so I'm just kind of pressing and trying to kind of interact with her like, hey baby, I'm here. I wish I could catch her on camera. A couple of weeks ago, I was laying in bed, and this little area right here, right on my stomach, all of a sudden she was, I don't know if she's doing a big stretch or something, but she, I don't know if she, had a leg up, something was going on, but this area right here was just a bulge. It was probably that far out. She was all right here. I don't know if it was a leg or an arm or her head or what. I couldn't even press it down, she was just there. And it was for a good couple of minutes. Of course, I didn't get the camera out in time. Right when I finally did, I was like, oh my god, she's staying. Let me whip the camera out. And of course, as soon as I did, she stopped. And she moved. And I have not been able to record any movements. Matthew has barely been able to start feeling movements here and there, but it's very rare. He's never home, and I'm never home. I'm going to be home more now, but so no one else has been able to really feel yet, but I feel her all the time. I'm very excited to feel her. It's probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite part about being pregnant, is feeling those kicks and those movements, and I love it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Tell me about your favorite part of pregnancy. I want to know. Is it the kicking? Do you hate pregnancy altogether? That's not even a bad thing. Some people completely hate it. It's not fun for everybody. Mine, thankfully, hasn't been terrible. Either of mine. So I get to enjoy all these kicks and flutters and movements and pokes and jabs. But I don't know if your favorite part is maybe feeling the baby, seeing the baby on ultrasound, just knowing you're creating life. Or maybe your favorite part is seeing that big old bump and being able to rub and play with it. Maybe your favorite part is being able to think about what you're going to do with that child, or how you're going to interact with that child. Maybe your favorite part is just everything about being pregnant, just being pregnant. Maybe your favorite part is getting the kid the heck out. But tell me about it. I want to hear your stories. My favorite part, I think, is the kicking and the moving. I can't think of anything that I love more. Anyway, thank you for listening to my babble once again. We will see you soon. Keep posted on our journey. I am going to keep you guys in the loop more now that I have more time. So, love you all. Thank you so much for watching.